Time for the Penn State preview and prediction. So we know the narrative. This one writes itself. It's the same every year. Does Penn State win big games and get it done? This program last won a national championship in 1986. They came within one play, one field goal of reaching the championship game in 2024. Welcome into the Voice of College Football. Appreciate you stopping by for the best in discussion, debate, and analysis. Penn State 2024, breakthrough or not? So I can argue both points. On the breakthrough portion of it, Penn State for the first time reached the college football playoff. They also won playoff games. They also, again, the aforementioned near miss to get to the national championship game. They reached the Big Ten championship game for the first time since 2016. They won 11 regular season games, 11-1. They had not done that way back in 2008 was the last time Penn State won 11 in the regular season. All right, on the downside, the counter argument would be that Penn State didn't change, just everything around them changed, meaning they didn't have to play Ohio State and Michigan. Therefore, they were able to, or the new replacement for Michigan in 2024, Oregon, didn't have to play two of those two teams. So they went 11-1. That's the only reason why. They still lost to Ohio State as they have in 11 of 12 years. Also, yes, they reached the college football playoff because it was expanded. And then they also won playoff games because they didn't defeat Power 5 teams per se. SMU, their first year in the Power Conference structure, and they beat Boise State. They didn't beat any elites. So those kind of accomplishments still awaiting Penn State in 2025. And most publications out there believe that this is a true national championship contender, ranked either 1 or 2 by just about everyone. It all starts with Drew Allar at quarterback, 66%, 24 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. Now, for me, I saw a different Drew Allar through most of 2024. More conviction in his passes, more decisive, more of a fiery leader, got into the face of teammates, even coaches at times. He took control of the team, and again, he seemed more decisive in throwing the ball downfield because he's got the arm. He's got the arm talent. Make no mistake about it. But again, in the big games, did not play extremely well against Ohio State, but at the same time, did he really have the weapons? And also, the playoff performance was uneven at best, being kind here. Didn't need to show up against SMU. The defense won the game. Against Boise State, not stellar, not great. I loved how he played against Oregon in the Big Ten championship game, made some NFL ridiculous kind of throws. But again, Notre Dame, not just the clutch play that he failed to make in throwing the game away in the final 50 seconds or so, but it was the way he played the entire day against Notre Dame that kept Penn State from a national championship game appearance. Drew Allar this season is on you first and foremost, but he does need help. And he needs weapons. He has not had those. Now he's got Trevor Pena from Syracuse, 84 catches, 9 touchdowns. Kyron Hudson, his statistics a little less impressive at 38 and 3 touchdowns. However, if you watched USC play last year, Kyron Hudson made some ridiculous catches, some of the best catches in college football last season. Devontae Ross, very productive as well, 76 catches, over 1,000 yards at Troy with 11 touchdowns. Now, there will not be Tyler Warren in the pass game. He caught 102 passes from the tight end position and ran the football quite a bit, and that all turned out to be good enough for a number 1 draft choice in the NFL. Penn State will fill the role a number of ways through a number of players. Khalil Dinkins, Luke Reynolds, and Andrew Rappaea. Penn State has an argument of being RBU all time. Lydell Mitchell, Kijana Carter, Franco Harris, we could keep going. All right, they got 2 of their best in history playing right now. Either one of these guys will end up most likely as the all-time rushing leader at Penn State, or they could be 1-2 or 2-1, depending on who gets the carries and who stays healthy. But they're a great 1-2 punch. We're talking about Katron Allen and Nick Singleton. Singleton was the 5-star that came in with a big reputation. He is the speed guy, the home run hitter. Katron Allen is the guy that bludgeoned the Oregon defense. They were so glad to not see Katron Allen again the rest of the season because he beat up Oregon in the Big Ten championship game. These guys have back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons between the two of them. And again, we could wind up at the end of this season as the two top rushers in the history of this storied running back room. The offensive line was excellent last season and brings back 4 starters and 83 starts. Only gave up 20 sacks last year. And they bring back 9 of the top 10 in the 2 deep. 14 blue chippers at this position. The best of the bunch include left guard Olev Vavega, Ione, and also left tackle Drew Shelton. And this offensive line may give Penn State the opportunity, with the playmakers included, for Drew Aller to open up the offense for the first time this season. The Penn State defense is always stellar and loses its defensive coordinator and its best player and still might be better in 2025. Of course, Tom Allen off to Clemson, and Penn State may have made the personnel choice and decision of the offseason in the Big Ten in taking defensive coordinator Jim Knowles away from Ohio State. Knowles, in an interview this offseason, was very candid about how he scouted the Penn State offense, and this could be a great strategic trade-off for Penn State in its rivalry against Ohio State in the big game that they will play against the Buckeyes and trying to wrestle away ownership of the Big Ten, because Jim Knowles said, hey, got to be honest, when we scouted Penn State, there were a lot of guys that did not scare us, that we said, you know what, leave them alone, let them play. We've got to focus on these 1 or 2 key guys. And even had a heart-to-heart with Drew Aller to say, this is how we scouted and played you. This is what you need to clean up. This is what you need to do to adjust your game to not be so predictable for opposing defenses. That could be an ace in the hole, a valuable strategic card for this Penn State unit, not just on the defensive side from Knowles, but on the offensive side if Aller is able to take that instruction to the playing field. Let's look at the defense minus, of course, one of the best in the business, and Abdul Carter. He takes with him 24 tackles for loss and 12 sacks. The defensive line brings back 14 blue chippers, including Nittany Dennis Sutton, 42 tackles, 13 TFLs, and 8.5 sacks. Zane Durant, 42 tackles as well, 11 in the backfield. You've got Dominic DeLuca, the hero of the first playoff win for Penn State against SMU. Tony Rojas, 58 tackles, 3 picks. Defensive backs, 2 starters back. And then they bring in King Mack, strong safety from Alabama. Zakai Wheatley is a proven commodity with 96 tackles and 3 interceptions. At the cornerback position, you've got A.J. Harris, 48 tackles and 4 TFLs and a pick. Elliott Washington's a good player, 26 tackles. And Zion Tracy is the nickelback with 35 stops. Let's look at the schedule. It's embarrassing in terms of non-conference play. Check out the short that I posted, just completely exposing Penn State's non-conference schedule, not just this season, but in other seasons. It's embarrassing that Penn State plays no one, but it will mean 3 wins headed toward the conference season, which means we've got Oregon coming to Happy Valley on September 27th. We've got Penn State with quite the series in recent years against Iowa, but the last time they got together in Happy Valley, 31-0. But the last time at Kinnick Stadium, Penn State was upset as the number 2 team in the country, and they go to Iowa City on October 18th. Of course, it's Ohio State after a bye week in Columbus on November 1st. Those are the 3 most likely losses: Ohio State, Oregon, and Iowa, but also difficult possible games here with Indiana on November 8th and then Nebraska on the 22nd of November. No Michigan, no USC, no Illinois for Penn State to have to deal with. 11-1, 8-1 in the Big Ten. Which game does Penn State lose? Well, check out all the videos, but also keep in mind that the week of week 0, we're going to sit down here, and it may take forever, but we're going to do a live stream where we go through every game in college football for the entire season, starting with week 0, and we will pick each game, and we're going to just see where we land in terms of the college football playoff and the national championship game. Keep it locked in here at the Voice of College Football. Join me Monday through Friday for the College Football Show at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. See you then.